You're listening to Health Professional Radio with Wayne Bucklar. Today my guest is Chelsea Cornelius, and Chelsea's a Product Development Manager with Analytica Limited, and Chelsea joins me from Australia. Chelsea, welcome to Health Professional Radio.
Thanks, Wayne. Thanks for having me on.
Now, today we're talking about PeriCoach. So tell us a little bit about PeriCoach and what it does and how it works.
Okay, that's a loaded question. The idea of PeriCoach was brought to us, Analytica, some 5 or 6 years ago, and when I researched the feasibility of such a product, it soon became apparent that the prevalence of incontinence in women was significant, and yet the technology to address the condition was completely outdated. So incontinence is also known as bladder leakage or a weak bladder to people, and 1 in 3 women will experience incontinence at some point in their life. That's 1 in 3. It's huge. Some of the causes are pregnancy, childbirth, of course, is a big one. Some exercises as well, menopause. And the condition doesn't discriminate either. It can affect women of all ages and fitness levels. Some of the treatment for incontinence, for urinary incontinence, is recommended by experts as strengthening the pelvic floor as a first-line therapy for incontinence, which involves regular timed contractions of the muscle, which is also known as Kegels. Now, the PeriCoach system has been developed with this in mind, in conjunction with leading women's health specialists, because we know the importance of getting it right. The system comprises a discrete wireless insertable device, an accompanying smartphone app, a secure data management system, and an online portal accessible to users and treating clinicians. The device uses strategically placed force sensors to detect the movement of the pelvic floor as a woman exercises and sends this information via Bluetooth to an app on her smartphone in the form of a trace line that gives her a visual indication of what the hidden muscles are doing. She's also given exercise programs to follow and progress indicators, which all takes the guesswork out of exercising for her. She can be confident using this that, behind the PeriCoach is substantial research and expertise relating to effective and safe pelvic floor exercise.
And I guess one of the problems with doing pelvic floor exercises is actually knowing which muscle you're squeezing that feels like what when you're first starting out. And just looking at your product on the website, it does look like something that takes all the guesswork out of that.
Absolutely. I mean, the pelvic floor muscles are generally something, they're largely ignored throughout our lives until they become a problem. It's like learning to wriggle your ears or your nose or something. It's not something that you can specifically isolate the muscles and know how to turn them on, and actually visualizing how they're working, because they're hidden as well, is often one of the biggest challenges as well. And when they're not seeing immediate feedback as well, so symptoms aren't always improving immediately, it can be hard to know that what you're doing is being effective. So the PeriCoach, as you say, it really takes the guesswork out of it for them, gives them that indication, and in turn gives them the motivation to continue to exercise.
And I have to say, a very clever use of technology, linking together smartphones and the internet and biosensors. It's nice to see some of that stuff reaching out at consumer level.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, women's health area, it's quite underdeveloped, and yet we have this technology at our fingertips. So the PeriCoach is engaging women in technology that they're familiar with. We spend so much time on our smartphones. Why can't we utilize that technology to help us to overcome some of our health issues?
Very true. Now, Chelsea, most of our audience, as you probably know, are clinicians of one kind or another. Is there a message you'd like them to get today as a result of having heard you on Health Professional Radio?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the PeriCoach has been designed in conjunction with specialists the whole way through, and the burden of incontinence on our healthcare system is huge, with approximately 4.2 million sufferers in Australia alone, and the treatment providers need help. Women typically receive little to no pelvic floor muscle training or support during GP or OBGYN visits, postpartum or around menopause, which are two life events associated with weakening of the pelvic floor. PeriCoach alleviates this burden for clinicians as it provides an effective and easy-to-follow pelvic floor muscle training women can do at home. So it is something that they can recommend to their patients. For physios as well, PeriCoach adds value to their practices by supporting the training provided in clinic with easy-to-follow training exercises that women can do at home between visits. And with our unique portal monitoring system, this actually enhances compliance and treatment outcomes, which maintains the patient engagement and also encourages referrals.
You're listening to Health Professional Radio. My name is Wayne Bucklar, and I'm in conversation with Chelsea Cornelius, Product Development Manager at Analytica Limited, and we've been talking about PeriCoach. Now, Chelsea, my favourite question in every interview is about misconceptions, and I guess in every industry there are misconceptions. What are the biggest misconceptions that you find amongst your, customers, clients, patients that drives you nuts and keeps you awake at night?
Well, look, one of the greatest misconceptions that women have is that bladder leakage is normal and a condition that they should accept. The thinking is often that it's just part of being a woman, it's our lot in life. But, and this is further glorified through the pad commercials trying to make adult diapers seem sexy and normal, It's simply not true. Women do have options to treat incontinence. They can, with pelvic floor exercise, they can often reduce symptoms and sometimes more often cure incontinence as well. And we're here to help. Data shows that pelvic floor muscle exercises do work. There is irrefutable evidence for that. Our approach, which has been very well received, has been to use creative campaigns like the Leak is Anonymous video and Kegel Face videos to remove some of the stigma, to inform women and encourage them to seek solutions like PeriCoach.
Now, Chelsea, for people who want to know more, how can they find out about this?
We have a great website with a lot of information and resources. It's pericoach.com, and on there you can find various testimonials from some of our users who have been successful with PeriCoach, telling about how they are now jumping on the trampoline with their kids, they're back to doing marathons, as well as some information from clinicians who have been using and recommending the PeriCoach to their patients as well. So, and there's lots of information on the technology and how to purchase it as well.
So it's www.coach, C-O-A-C-H, all one word, pericoach.com.
That's right.
Chelsea, thank you for being with us today. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you so much, Wayne.
You're listening to Health Professional Radio. If you've just missed my conversation with Chelsea Cornelius, the good news is all is not lost. There's a transcript of this conversation on our website at www.hpr.fm, and you can also access an audio recording of the conversation on both YouTube and SoundCloud. This is Health Professional Radio. Thanks for listening.